What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Impact Gaming Center. We are live and in living color with round 4 of 4 of our no banned list modern event. We've got Jack on Temur Delver against Dan on Bant Miracles. You will notice both these players are not 3-0. We hadn't had Jack on camera yet. We wanted to get all the decks on camera, so that is why we are placing these two players on camera. So, yeah. Thank you all so much, though, for hanging out with us. If you've been watching the whole time on Twitch, we appreciate you. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell icon, and put it to all videos. You want to see all of our videos. I promise you, we come out with videos almost every single day of the week. Magic content, Lorcana content, maybe some more content coming in the near future. Just a heads up, though, for all you folks who don't like lands in front, Jack does play with lands in front, and this is an unsanctioned tournament. So we're going to allow him to play lands in front. We know the rules, but that's only for competitive play on camera. How dare he, right? How dare he play cards the way he wants? How dare he have fun the way he likes to have fun? But, yeah. So it looks like Dan's going to take that Delver down with a prismatic ending back to Jack. And what do we have here? A Dragon's Rage Channeler, it looks like. We will have a Dragon's Rage Channeler, just as I mentioned, and a Delver of Secrets passed back to Dan. So Jack's going to try and protect these two creatures the best of his ability. And Dan's job here is to try and kill everything that he sees. And here's an Up the Beanstalk. That'll enter the battlefield. Dan will take a draw, and every time Dan casts something with mana value 5 or more, he will get to draw a card. Pretty good. We have a Delver trigger, and this Delver is flipping. Holy smokes. Jack's living the dream here. We've got a Treasure Cruise, a Ponder, a Island, Trigger, Surveil. Yeah, the Delver actually gets to flip. I was watching one of his games earlier, and he had like 2 or 3 turns where it did not flip for him. So tragic, but here it will flip. But yeah, again, thank you all so much for hanging out with us today. It's been a fun time. We've got Lightning Bolt, Treasure Cruise, Mental Misstep, 3 cards that Jack is pondering over. He will shuffle these. It has been a fun time. Yeah, we do. We do have new playmats up at the shop, and we have a new website as well. So, Scalding Tarn going to be the land. White border. Ooh. Does that tilt some players? Some viewers? I love it. We're going to get in there. We're going to attack. 1, 2, 1. Whoa, wait. What the heck? Down to 11 already. Jack at 16. You're extra mad because you see the whiteboard cards? Yeah. How dare he deface the cards that he paid his hard-earned money for. Dan going to play a Misty Rainforest and pass back. Jack going to crack his white-bordered fetch land. In response, Dan gonna allow it. In response, Dan's going to crack his own fetch land. He says, I might as well join you. I appreciate that. Speeds things up just a hair. Going to have Steam Vents enter the battlefield tapped. Xander's Lounge. Gonna happen for Dan. Still at Dan's incept, so Jack will take his turn momentarily. Don't have any clue what's in Dan's hand. We're gonna... Leyline Binding. Trigger. Jack says okay, so... Dan gonna draw a card thanks to this Up the Beanstalk. Give him the beans, boys. We're back in town. Oh. Was it a Terminus? It was a Terminus. See, Dan went, oh no, I put it in my hand. I promise this is the card. Here, I'll show you. And so that will put Jack's creatures on the bottom of his library. Unfortunate for Jack. Which means that Leyline Binding going to enter the battlefield with no targets. So pass back. Yeah, give him the beans, boys. We're back in town. That's a good one. All right, here's a Flooded Strand, pass back. A Consider for Jack at the end step on Dan's turn. Gonna put that Treasure Cruise to the bin. We already got one. Untap, upkeep and a draw ski. We drew a White Border Lightning Bolt. That's actually legit. That is a real, actual, factual White Border Lightning Bolt. No defacing cards on that one. Gonna get an island here. Let's see what Jack has. Ooh, we're going to go on a cruise, folks. We're going to go on a little cruise. We're going to cruise for some treasure. Painted on penguins are amazing. Yeah, I've been meaning to ask. What's the connection with the penguins? If you care to share. If you don't, that's fine too. Those are really sweet, though. Did you do those? Did he or did you paint those? They're really good. Here's a Ponder. There's a mental misstep. Getcha. Down to 14. Jack, fix your life total, friend. Pass back to Jack. He just loves them. Favorite animal. Oh, but he bought the... Oh, yeah. That's awesome. Penguins are pretty sweet. I love... Have you guys been to the St. Louis zoo yet? It's really awesome. They have a really great penguin exhibit, too. And it's free, which is incredible. You're going to be paying up on all the food and drinks, but just to get in is free, which is awesome. Back to Dan, though. Meticulous Archive. Going to take a surveil. Going to keep it there. Jack's going to fetch in step. So Dan's pretty much in control of this one right now. Oh, yeah. That would be cool. Yeah, no. That'd be sweet. We love the zoo. Yeah, he's got another treasure cruise. So does Dan have a counter spell? Force of Negation is a counter spell. Jack says, yep. That gets exiled. Spire Bluff Canal, pass back. So we've got Mental Misstep, Treasure Cruise, and Dismember. And there's an Oko Thief of the Crowns. That's really good against, well, against everything, but it's really good against Jack. I'm going to make a food token. Oh my gosh. Mystic Sanctuary, put my Force of Negation back on top of my library. Pass back. Delver of Secrets, that's a threat. It's going to get elked, but it is a threat. Oh, there is a Mockingbird. We got a reader. I actually need to look this up. I'm the leader. I'm the reader. All right, let's get Mockingbird up there for you folks and for me. Mockingbird is a blue and an X. Leyline Binding going to take down the Delver of Secret. It's got flying. It's a 1/1. You may have Mockingbird enter as a copy of any creature on the battlefield with mana value less than or equal to the amount of mana spent to cast Mockingbird, except it's a bird in addition to its other types. Pretty decent. Pretty decent. Up to 10. Alrighty. Oko going nutso right now. Gonna make another food. There's a ponder. Okay. I mean, that's not nothing. Yeah, it seems like. Yeah. Delver's really good. 1, 2, 3. All right, those are three pretty good cards. He will draw the Darcy, as she's affectionately known. Dragon's Rage Channeler, and a pass back. Into the turn. This looks like a dig through time if I know Dan's deck. And I do a little bit. Up the Beanstalk trigger. That means he's going to get to draw a card, and he's going to get to look at the top 7 cards of his library. And put 2 of those in his hand. Looks like we got Ponder, Preordain, Counterspell. I think Counterspell is one of the cards we got. Unsure of the other card at this point. Fetch instep, go to 9. Go to 8. And that is going to be a Mystic Sanctuary. That's pretty good. That's going to probably put that dig through time right back on top of Dan's library. Oh, it's going to be Terminus. Okay, that's fair. He's going to be able to miracle this Terminus for 1 mana, return all creatures back to the owner's bottom of their library. Yep. To the bottom. And the bottom drops out. All right. Oko going up. Makes another food. Dan's probably going to pass back here after he plays his land. He might have some things, but he does not. I think that's a Mockingbird. Unfortunately for Jack, he can't really cast that with no creatures on the battlefield. Suppose he could. It'd be a 1/1, but not excellent in the face of an Oko. This one slipping away from Jack here, I think. Jack not one to concede unless all hope is lost, so... There's Mockingbird. Yep, he'll play it. just as a 1-1. I'm going to crack one of the food, gain some life. Up to 11 goes Dan. And Dan will take his turn. There's a plains. Really nice looking plains, too. Gonna elk his food token. And are we getting in there? Attack you for 3. Who's the beatdown now? Down to 10. And that is a Mishra's bobble. Not going to do a whole lot. Gonna bobble you. I can't see that. Can chat? I don't know. Probably not. Pass back. Hey, if you're watching this after the fact on YouTube and you could see what that card that was, leave it in the comments. But no cheating. You can fast forward or watch and then comment. There's a Leyline Binding. That's going to trigger up the Beanstalk. He's going to draw that card that Jack just saw. That's going to take care of Mockingbird. And Jack's going to draw a Lightning Bolt. Thumbs up. There's a Misty Rainforest. Was that the card that Dan drew? Up the Beanstalk number 2. Going to draw off of that. And give him the beans, boys. We're back in town. This elk's going to get on down. I'm going to get lightning bolted to the ground. Bars. That counterspell is going to take that down. So Jack going to drop to 7. And, oh, well, I guess before damage. Or dismembering. Is that what's happening? I think that's what's happening. Jack does have to pay 4 life for that, though. He's gonna... Dan's gonna force a negation the dismember. So down to 3. Ugh, that's brutal. He had to pay the 4 life, and he still gets cracked for 3 from the elk. Make another food token. Pass back. This could be the last turn of the game. That's a Mishra's Bobble. Well, that's not nothing. Not, I guess, what could Jack draw here? I don't think there's anything in his deck that he could draw off of this Mishra's Bobble that's going to save him. Because even if, best case scenario, he draws a bolt, he's still going to die to the other elk that Dan's about to make. It's a Spire Bluff Canal. That's going to be it unless Dan just forgets to attack or something. Five mana. Lorien revealed. Trigger. Going to draw 2 cards and then 3 cards. He's going to turn his food token into another elk. And these elks are on the move. Get on in there. That'll do it. Game 1 goes to Dan. Oko is Broko. There's a reason this card is banned, but this is no ban list modern. This is Impact Gaming Center. Thank you all so much for hanging out. I'm Les Alex. Hey, I make Magic the Gathering content on YouTube. If you want to check that out, the link will be in the description of this video. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Who y'all got? I didn't do a poll this round for Twitch. Let's do that real quick. Do you got Jack? Even though he just lost. Who you got? Is it going to be Jack or is it going to be Dan? Let me know. Let me know. But yeah, thank you all so much. We have a brand new, fresh, so clean website that is now up. ImpactGamingCenter.gg. Go check it out. If you're in the market for luxury rectangle cardstock, go check it out. And if you're local, you can order and pick it up at the store. So, yeah. Jack, or at least I'm hoping. Yeah, we shall see. We shall see. Jack going to be on the play, so of course that's a good thing, but check it out. We shall see. I saw Dan bringing in some Supreme Verdicts, which are real good against Jack. Usually Jack will be able to counter some wraths, but that is one wrath that is uncounterable. So, but yeah, let's get back down. See how these guys finish up. Everybody's kicking the rig, the streaming rig. That's why it's shaking so much. Yeah, right? Just draw a perfect hand, Jack. What are you doing? Let's refresh this here, and we will even give Dan the coveted win marker. Game 1 win marker. Going to game 2. Can Jack prevail? I don't know. I'm going to be honest, folks. I think Dan's deck is kind of built to beat decks like Jack's. Just a ton of counter magic. Infinite removal. It's going to be an uphill battle for sure. But Jack will be on the play, and he's no slouch. So we shall see. Hopefully they reset that companion app life total. Yeah, thank you all so much. If you're watching on YouTube, or rather on Twitch, make sure to follow us. We stream pretty regularly. Friday's our main night. You can count on us every Friday, unless there's a pre-release, although I want to start streaming Modern even on pre-release night. But every Friday, you can hear my sultry voice with some normal Modern, not no ban list. This is a special tournament. But, yeah, every single Friday at 7 p.m. Central. Come hang out with us. We'd love to have you. Looks like these players are just about ready for game 2. Just kidding. Dan's going to keep shuffling. Yeah. Hopefully both players have a good hand. I'm not a fan of watching just one player get beat down because they didn't have a good hand or they mulligan to like 4. That's never fun to watch. And I'm not playing favorites. I just want a good match. That's all I care about. All right. Jack opens, land, counterspell, Darcy, Mishra's Bauble. So, definitely a keeper, I believe. Let's see what Dan has. Land. Ooh, he's got 2 prismatic endings in hand, I believe Dan has, so. Interesting that nobody's playing the One Ring. Very interesting. Kind of the de facto best card that can go in basically every deck, and none of these players electing to play that card. Although, different formats. This is no ban list Modern, of course. Another Surveil trigger. Gonna put Mockingbird in the bin. Look at you. Look at your top card. Okay, cool. Thumbs up. Pass back. Jack will get to draw a card when Dan draws his first card for the turn. And there's a prismatic ending. Target your Dragon's Rage Channeler. Jack's like, yeah, that'll happen. So, bye-bye goes Darcy. And Dan drops to 18 off that shock land. Got to get that in there. So he'll draw twice off the Mishra's Bauble. Play Spire Bluff Canal. And pass back. He's got to Seek the Beast and a counterspell. So this is a pretty nice turn here for Jack, because he'll be able to counter anything that's relevant. Or if Dan doesn't do anything that Jack feels needs countered, he can just Seek the Beast at the end step. Dan, going to drop to 17 off the fetch. Will he be going to 15? He will. Probably a little blue-green action. Breeding pool. Ah, okay. Sure. Temple Garden instead. Alrighty. Up the beanstalk. Give him the beans, boys. And there's a counterspell, yeah. Up the beanstalk is a really good card against Jack because Jack wants to be the one drawing more cards and gaining tempo every turn. When up the beanstalk's on the battlefield, that's really hard for Jack to get ahead. All right. Scalding Tarn down to 16. Are we going to see a Penguin Island? No. It's going to be a breeding pool down to 14. Are we seeking the beast? We are. Go on an adventure, consign to memory, and questing druid. There's a consider, surveil, our scry one, keep it. Force of negation, that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, here we go. Another fetch. Gonna go down to 13. And there's the Penguin Island. Yeah, I was looking at those up close. They are really well done. Not sure who did those for them, but they did a great job. And I'm not a huge fan of altars, generally speaking, just because, you know, quality can vary. But I will say, those penguins on those islands look real good. He's going to play the questing beast. A questing druid. I'm going to be a reader on this one. Let's get this on screen. Whenever you cast a spell that's white, blue, black, or red, put a +1/+1 counter on questing druid. All right, so we have another counter because we, what do we, seek the beast? Not sure, didn't see it. Let me know, chat, what just happened? Dan's turn, though. Sensei's Divining Top. And here we go, folks. Lock in. It might be a long game now. This card banned not from Modern for any it was too powerful reasons. It was banned from Modern when Modern very first started because it takes forever. The game comes to a crawl when Sensei's Divining Top is on the battlefield because the player with the Sensei's Divining Top in play typically activates it at the end of every turn that they can. It was an artist from far away. Yeah, I'll definitely ask him. All right. Questing Druid. Gonna get cast. And are we gonna see a treasure cruise, dude? We're cruising. Dan's gonna top here. 1, 2, 3. Gonna take a look at these. Can put them back in any order. Dan topping pretty quick. 1, 2, 3. So 2 lands and a dismember. Gonna play one of those lands. It's gonna be a polluted delta. How else does he want? He's got a consign to memory and still has that force negation waiting in the wings when Dan decides he wants to do something that Jack doesn't really like. Pass back to Dan. Hedge Maze is going to surveil for Dan. Going to put Oko into the bin. Going to cast a Ponder. Thumbs up for Dan. Dan, or thumbs up from Jack, rather, to Dan. Dan's ripping through his deck now. Trying to finalize these top cards. I didn't see any of them. I thought one of them maybe might have been a land. All right, pass back. Into the turn. Jack's going to fetch. Going to grab a Steam Vents tapped. Terminus, land, and I can't see the other card in Dan's hand. Jack might get to do some damage here, though. We shall see. It depends on what's on top of Dan's library, because there's a Sensei's Divining Top in play. Scalding Tarn, crack your fetch, go to 11. Gonna get a Penguin land, Penguin Island. Delver of Secrets. Dan says, yeah, that's fine. Questing Beast's going to get in there after he gets another +1 counter from the Delver. We're going to top. And we're going to terminate Terminus. So top goes on top. Terminus goes to hand. Miracle is a trigger. So what just happened was Jack countered the trigger. Now the top is on top, and he topped. And there's a Leyline Binding. Probably taking down that Questing Beast. If I had to guess. We do have a Force of Negation in hand if Jack doesn't want that to happen. At this point, I might be in the market to just counter this and just keep trying to bash. Dan has land double Terminus. So Dan can just play his land and cast Terminus, so. But Jack doesn't. Well, he does know. He does know there's a Terminus in Dan's hand. Down to 10. I feel a Terminus coming. Gonna quickly crack that Windswept Heath down to 9. And this is when Dan starts to hook the claws in him. Granted, Jack does have a Delver of Secrets, but Dan has another Terminus. If he feels that that Delver is enough pressure to want a Terminus away. Yeah, here's a 6-mana Terminus. Those are all those creatures, those two, going on the bottom. Pass back. Another Delver of Secrets. You're just going to deploy him? Oh, he's going to get blown out by this. The second Terminus. He doesn't know about it, though. Was that an Oko that he drew? Yeah, there's another one. And Jack can do nothing but smile. Put his two poor Delvers on the bottom of his library. Draws a... okay, I mean, Counterspell's a good draw there. Oko. Yeah, that's definitely getting countered. Does Dan have a Counterspell? No, he does not. So Jack's still in this thing, despite getting Terminus back-to-back turns. Tap 1, Gataxian Probe. Let's take a peek. Leyline Binding, Spara's headquarters. Darcy, so Darcy's going to probably get played. And is swiftly going to be met with a Leyline Binding. Team Unified, that'd be fun. How are you doing today? Tiny Mun MTG. We're going to cycle the Spara's headquarters and untap. Draw for turn. Oh my gosh, there's another Leyline Binding. Jack running out of threats. C double? Or what is that? I don't know what that is. Not a C double. I honestly don't know. I can't make out what that card is. That is a Lorien Revealed. I don't know what card that is. Doesn't matter. Veil of Summer. Yeah, I hear Jack say, that's pretty good. So Lorien Revealed. Veil of Summer. Gonna draw 3 cards. Wet Jund. Give him a standing ovation? We'll see. It's going to be tricky. Oh, it was one of the gift cards, so he gifted him a tapped fish, I think. Prismatic Ending going to take down the Delver. And there's an Uro, which means he's going to gain 3 life. Draw a card. Uro will go back to the bin, but he can be escaped. Don't worry. That Uro is coming back more than likely. Down to 10. Darcy 8. I mean, Jack's drawing threats here, you know? And there's a there's a counter spell. Dan, for every threat Jack has, Dan has the perfect piece of interaction for him. Get in there. Down to 9. Tick, tick. Ooh, that's pretty good, yeah. There's an Uro. We're going to get to see Uro. You are a bit late. Yes, River of Tears. That's okay, though. Welcome on in. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you. All right. Dan's got a dig through time in his hand. This, I hate to say it, folks. I think this one is more than likely over. We got Uro. We got a tapped fish. Dan's got a Force of Negation. Not looking good. Not looking good for Jack, but Dan is absolutely cruising right here. Another Force of Negation. We're going to bash. You got Uro trigger here. Brazen Borrower, counterspell that. That was an Oko, I believe. Dan going to gain 3 more life. Whether he knows it or not. Take 7. Down to 2. And I think I heard Dan say pass. And a Scalding Tarn and a handshake. There you go. Dan going to improve to 3-1. Jack going to drop to 1 and 3. Bant Miracles over Temur Delver. That was the last round, folks. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. If you were watching live, you're awesome. If you're watching After the Fact on YouTube, you're awesome too. If you could like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell icon, and put it to all so you don't miss any of our videos. And there will be videos popping up right here. I appreciate you. My name is Les Alex. I make content on YouTube too. You should go subscribe to my channel. The link will be down below if you're watching on YouTube. Just search Les Alex if you're watching on Twitch and you want to go follow me. Thank you all so much. We'll catch you on the Flippy Flop Friday, normal modern, and we will see you in the next one. Be kind to one another. Adios.